Inside the coach's office for another edition of the Pikiell Podcast, presented by Horizon, joined by the man himself, Steve Pikiell. Coach, how are we doing?
I'm doing well. New season starts today, and I always tell our guys too, you're blessed in so many ways because you have the preseason, you have the non-conference, you have the regular season, and now everyone forgets about everything, and you got a 4-game. It's treat it like the NCAA tournament. You got to win to survive, and you got 40 minutes, get you 40, and we have a Maryland team, and then we have after them a Wisconsin team, Northwestern team, all teams that we've beaten this year. So got an opportunity, and let's go after it.
Let's talk about the way you go into the tournament, because I think it's easy just to say, well, you lost a few games in a row here. But I look at the Wisconsin game. I thought for 32 minutes you guys played as locked in and as well as you've played all season. And then the way you came back Sunday on Senior Day, which we'll get to in a second too, I thought it was terrific. You got down 10-1, fought, and then it got away in the second half. Can you at least take positives from those last 2 games into this week?
You really can. And, consistency's been a thing that we've struggled with all year long. But when we have been locked in and we can play anybody, I really believe that. And foul trouble yesterday with Cliff didn't help us in the second half, obviously, and Jeremiah got in some foul trouble early in the game too. You got to do those things, and how the whistle is blown always plays a role in it. But there's been games where we've been fantastic, and then there's been other games where we've let in either rebounds or turnovers, like the Wisconsin game. We were in that game the whole time, but you can't have 18 turnovers against Wisconsin, type of a deal. So got to be a little more consistent. I do like this group. When we put it together, we can play anybody. We got the 4th best defense in the country. That always keeps you around. Ball's got to go in sometimes too. Free throw line, layups, or threes.
Yeah, that was the example yesterday you've talked about forever with the free throws. It was on display yesterday. And the three-point shooting. It's like when that ball doesn't go in at first, you feel like everybody's pressing a little bit.
You really do. And there's 3 categories of scoring. Layups, and I always layups, free throws, and three-point land, and you got to go 2 out of 3, or at least 1 out of 3 with the way we play defense. Again, yesterday we didn't make free throws. We got a lot of layups blocked, which definitely hurt us, and then obviously from three-point land. So you got to make those things happen, especially when you're playing, really good basketball teams. That Ohio State's playing as well as anybody right now, and we got to make sure that we're locked in and we play great, because we have an opportunity now moving new season. You're 0-0. Everyone's treated the same, and you can go on a nice run here. And if you go on a nice run, those epic runs are unbelievable.
Now, to win 3 or 4, you got to win 1 first, and that's going to start with Maryland on Wednesday, 6:30 New York time, Eastern time, out in Minnesota. That's a team you beat on the road. They came here and beat you here, so it's kind of like the rubber game of the 3. Mm-hmm. Having the fact that you beat them that first time around, is that a film you show, or is it more the second one to make the corrections?
Well, I tell you what, we'll do both, because there were some real good parts of the first game, and there were games, first part of the first game too, where you didn't break their pressure. We turned the ball over, so you can learn from that. The second game, they got us on the glass. They did an unbelievable job. I thought they were tougher than us. I thought the first game we were tougher than them. So there's a lot of lessons in both of them. We're very familiar with them. They're one of the best defensive teams in the country. They're a really good rebounding team, so you got to take away those strengths.
Would you say, we talked about the free throws for sure, we understand that. Would you say the rebounding in a lot of the games you've lost has been one of the main reasons why? Because even the Wisconsin game, there was that one sequence where I think they had 5 looks at the rim where you just couldn't grab the ball in a key spot in the game. Yeah. Has that been the biggest issue, you think?
It has been, and turnovers at times have been an issue for us. But, we've gone a little smaller this year. We have smaller players. And it definitely has. It's affected us. We've been a great rebounded team throughout, my whole time here. And this year just very inconsistent rebounding team, and those plays like that really, spur other teams too. Get 4 or 5 rebounds in those opportunities. And this game will be decided too from the rebounds. Like, it is going to be. First game did a good job, held our own. Second game they got us, and we have to do a great job on the backboards in this game, because it's one of the strengths of this Maryland team.
What's it like? You've been through it as a player and as a coach. What's it like in a new building? Target Center? I don't think this team has played in the Target Center at all, correct?
Yeah. Always new buildings, and don't have a lot of time to figure that out either. We won't even get a shoot around there. So we got to go into a neutral site. Our stats have been better at neutral sites, so we've been one of the best neutral site free throw shooting teams in the nation. So maybe that'll give us some incentive there. But you got to figure it out quickly, and they have to too.
Yeah, and if you win, you're right back the next day. Circling back to senior day, obviously Cliff did not get to play a whole lot. I saw you in your press conference. You referenced it right away. Disappointing for sure with the fouls and fouling out. That having been said, his season defensively, I mean, how do you put it in perspective so far?
I mean, when I put it into perspective what he's done defensively, I start back to his freshman year and how far he's come in that area. That he's being mentioned in every defensive player of the year, category. Really makes me proud. He's watched a lot of film. He's become better at blocking shots. He used to foul a lot. He stays on his feet more, the discipline. He's part of all our screen coverage. We have 4 or 5 different screen coverages too that you have to learn and you have to try to master. He's being mentioned for the Naismith Award. He's being mentioned for our award in our league. And it's just, just a proud coach to know how far he's come in that area. One of the elite shot blockers in the history of Rutgers basketball.
And lastly, on senior day, the crowd in their seats in time. I thought in the first half, once you got it going, I know obviously they were stunned at 10-1, but once you got it going, I thought it was as loud as it's been all year. I mean, I know you always reference them. It was pretty good yesterday.
I mean, that's where our program's grown the most. I'm so thankful, first of all, that they showed up. These kids, have given a lot to our program. And I think the days of fourth-year guys and fifth-year guys are over. I don't see that happening anywhere in college moving forward on a rare occasion. We had Mawat 4 years, Cliff 4 years, Oscar 4 years, Dre 3 years. And now, moving forward, you could transfer every single year. So the rules were a little different then. Guys stayed longer. So the fact that they came out and supported those guys, Aiden's been here 4 years, really, I appreciate so much the fans. And even when we were down 10-1, they were and just very thankful for them showing up all the time and rewarding our kids who have been great and have done so many good things for us in so many different ways.
All right, next up for Rutgers, a game against Maryland. Big Ten tournament, first round, Wednesday night, 6:30 Eastern. That'll do it for the Pikiell Podcast. Coach, thanks for your time. We'll see you out in Minneapolis.
Thank you so much.
And we will see you along the way. The Pikiell Podcast, presented by Horizon.